Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Tom, and I'm only making plans for Nigel. So today, I'm gonna be filling in this area here with some gravel. I've decided how I'm going to sort of block out this whole place, and this is going to be gravel, but there's going to still be green areas. There's going to be some like elevated bits of grass with trees and stuff on them just for decoration. But this is all going to be graveled over. I just can't with this hill anymore. Um, but anyway, I was thinking today, like, what do I want to talk about for the next Evo SMP video? Because I want to have something interesting to talk about lately. Because I just think, like, everyone's seen a Minecraft Let's Play, right? And I started thinking, like, yeah, if everyone's seen a Minecraft Let's Play, and I just want to make a video, then I should just make a video talking about the thing I want to talk about and cut out the Minecraft part completely. But I thought I started thinking about that. I just because making Minecraft content has always been a very contentious thing on the internet. I have been around the Minecraft community online since its inception. Sorry, blah. Um, since its inception, basically, I remember when being a Minecraft YouTuber was like, the coolest thing that anyone wanted to be, and then it was within the span of like a year reduced to being like the lamest thing ever, and now it's just sort of like, well, you can make Minecraft videos if you want to, but you're probably just going to get dwarfed by the shitstorm of, millions upon millions of Minecraft videos that go up every day. So what's even the point, I wonder that sometimes. I would ask myself, why would I even waste my time with this? I'm fairly certain I'm not going to be successful in any capacity. And I'm fine with that, actually. We'll get to that. I have been just thinking, like, there's too much. I don't know how much I have to add. And the kind of content that I want to make is basically the same thing that everyone else wants to do. If you watch the videos I do, I'm just playing old Minecraft, how people play it. Not really doing much else. My Nuke Island videos are just, those are just a normal, like, standard Minecraft modded Let's Play. How am I picking that up? I don't have any inventory space. Okay, well, I guess just holding it in my hand lets me pick that up. So that's alpha, I suppose. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, so the reason to make Minecraft videos, in my opinion, the reason to make any content, I think that you should always keep in mind first, before you concern yourself with how many other people have done it, is just make something that will make you personally very, very happy. I started making these videos in the midst of like the most stressful, like fucking blood pressure raising relationship ever, after coming off my like worst semester in school. I talked about my last video. I've now been fired. I haven't really been outside in a while. And I genuinely don't think that I would be anywhere near as like stable right now if not for these Minecraft videos that I've started making in my downtime. It's just the main goal for this channel is just to have archives of our series, but I've just been so bored lately that I've just like, I mean, archives of our Minecraft modded Let's Plays, but I've been so bored that I've just been turning, the Minecraft modded series or Minecraft mod pack that we play through every year into a whole movie. And but I think that Minecraft is a fantastic tool for expression, and I actually think that if there's any game that you're going to make videos on, that you should make videos on and can, acceptably make videos on, despite the fact that there are trillions of other videos about the same topic, doing the same thing that look the same as yours. I think that Minecraft is at the point now where it's not, like I talked about in the last video, I don't want to look at it like a video game anymore. I want to look at it more of like a tool for expression. And I think saying that, oh, you know, I don't want to make Minecraft videos because, well, there's too many Minecraft videos on YouTube, is like, I don't want to paint anymore because, you know, everyone's already seen the Mona Lisa, so what's even the fucking point, you know? Because I use these videos for more than just uploading Minecraft. Like, this is, I am doing something else with this, I think, in my mind, besides just recording myself playing the game. You know, that's where I think a lot of the Minecraft content on the internet falls short, is that it is usually just some guy talking about the game, and I fucking do that too, honestly. It is really nice and therapeutic to just kind of talk, even though you know that no one is listening to you right now, and it's kind of a gamble as to whether or not they ever actually will, if anyone clicks on the video. I need to get more gravel, so we're going mining. But hopefully you kind of see the vision now a little bit. It looks kind of ugly because I ran out of gravel. Do I have any more? I'm gonna go up and check. Doesn't this look so good though already? I should... So we'll put like a tree there, you know. Well, actually, yeah. Here's what we'll do. This is gonna be cool. I'm gonna have to get a sapling. This is cool. I can get back to talking about serious stuff in a minute. I also, you know, I just don't want to dwell on you know, I don't want to say heavy stuff because I'm talking about making Minecraft YouTube videos, but I just don't want to, you know, I want to spice it up a little bit. I think that Minecraft is a pretty strong, a pretty important piece of like human art, you know. And I border on saying human technology, not technology, but like human like advancement in terms of this sort of control of the little miniature worlds that we create, that we sort of live in. I think what I'm meaning to say here is that Minecraft is a revolutionary tool for human expression and has given an opportunity, a sort of pathway for millions of people who otherwise wouldn't have considered expressing themselves through art, to express themselves through building, series, even just interjecting tiny little background lore into the, you know, the background of your world. You basically couldn't really do that until Minecraft came along to the extent that you can now. And, you know, childhoods are built off of this now. The kind of expression that people do with this game. Like, there is literally a barrier to our consciousness that keeps us from perceiving all that actually is, and there is this sort of whole oneness of everything that exists in the universe. It's never not existing just because we can't perceive it. It's always going on. And I think that, you know, because by the nature of humanity, you know, by the way that we're locked in our own little world, our own little perceptions, you know, we sort of, I think that it's kind of, it's like interesting the way that we've turned interpretations of the world into something like Minecraft based on our very extremely narrow worldview. And we've sort of given it, you know, it's this own little mini universe with its own set of rules and physics and stuff. And that's just, those are the kind of concepts that really interest me. And it's not particularly profound in any way. It is just kind of the stuff I think about when I'm bored and high and showering with the lights off. It's just, I don't know, makes you think, I guess. You know, if I had to say anything, I would say makes you think. Because that's one of my favorite things to say when I've just said some bullshit. So guys, this is a crazy thing to ask for, you know, a Minecraft YouTube video, but do you guys believe in God in any capacity? Do you guys believe not only in, you know, like not, like I don't necessarily care what religion it's from, just do you believe in one at all? Do you believe that the universe could evolve one? Do you think that the universe could ever create by, like, within its own framework of logic and you know, rules and stuff? Could it ever create one? Do you think, could it ever create omnipotence? I think that we make, like, shitty attempts at that kind of thing with, like, AI. You know, like, I think we want to have omnipotence, but I wonder if, because we've essentially programmed omnipotence, is there like a genuine non-programmed version that we can ever reach? I don't know. AI is the worst, by the way. Probably just don't ever AI generate anything. If you can, if you can manage to just go your whole life without ever AI generating something, I would highly recommend that you just do it, because you're probably low-key like dusting an entire community somewhere in Memphis or whatever. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is God real? Let me know in the comments down below. So what do you guys do for fun? I make Minecraft videos. I think that this is the kind of content I enjoy making, because this is the kind of content that I watched growing up, and I'm fully aware of the fact that it's not revolutionary. I'm not the Beatles or anything for making Minecraft content on YouTube, but I think that it's really important to. And I think this is another thing that Minecraft does really well, that it wasn't designed to do, but it does anyway with the whole Minecraft nostalgia thing. Because I want to talk more about Minecraft nostalgia and my thoughts on it. I think that Minecraft is serving a lot of people as a tool to sort of take care of their inner child. And as I'm a very, like, I'm a big into psychology person, I'm sure you probably know 40 other people who are quote unquote big into psychology, but it's just I can't deny it's really, really important to just let yourself fucking like something once in a while. Just let yourself be a stupid kid and drool over Minecraft once in a while. I think that it's fucking awesome. I know that it wasn't designed to do that, but I'm thinking that the internet is sort of pushing us into a weird space where we've never been in before, where we're able to like interact with our past in a way like never before, interact with our shared past in a way like never before, in the form of something as simple as just there's YouTube videos that we can go back and watch. Interjecting again here to add that Minecraft basically gave us the YouTuber like as a profession. There were YouTubers whose job was YouTube, but this was like the gaming YouTuber dream that you're all familiar with. That came from Minecraft. And that is a massive cultural wave. Millions of us are so ingrained in the idea of a Minecraft YouTuber that we don't even think about it. But that's a sort of huge thing for us that didn't really exist before. And it's given people a way to interact with the media they like, and it doesn't feel like it's just magic. As a kid, I never understood that people have to make SpongeBob episodes for me to watch them. Like it really gives you a peek into the human process. Being a YouTuber is an incredibly easy and especially being a Minecraft YouTuber, an easy and accessible way to express yourself for basically free. The game costs something, the computer that you record the footage on still costs something, but ultimately it's a quick and easy, cheap way for people to get into expressing themselves, which I think is the best thing ever, because it shows people that it doesn't have to be a complicated web of rules to make something that people like. You can just do it, and it can be easy. Even just liking Minecraft feels like a communal aspect to people my age now. It's just sort of mentioning that you like Minecraft is sort of like a litmus test, for like the people that you meet. It's like really, you would actually genuinely be surprised at how many people I've met IRL who I would have nothing in common with otherwise, who I've become very close with just from a shared love of this fucking video game. A video game, of a community that we both participated in, but from completely opposite ends a lot of the time, because this community is so vast that like the Minecraft community just feels like a tenth of humanity or something. It's just like a little mini humanity. It's got its own fucking ebb and flow, its own culture, it's got its own little sections, it's just, it is like a living, breathing community in a way that I've never, I was going to say in a way I've never seen before, but in a way I have seen before, in a way that I don't think other people have seen before, is what I mean. That I don't think humanity has seen before. You know, like, what the hell was fandom supposed to do in like the 80s? You know, you'd like gather around at like a convention or whatever. But I mean, that's nowhere near the level of like non-stop community that you get hit with when when you go on the internet now. There's just so much at your fingertips. And I think even though it is the Antichrist, it's also the most amazing thing ever. And I think that our ability to wield it responsibly is really what is faltering with the internet right now. I think the internet has become the Antichrist because we built it that way. But stuff like Minecraft is like, an example of, a version of a corner of the internet, a corner of humanity with computers, that, it's a version of that is very successful, I think, that shows what, it's not perfect, obviously. The Minecraft community is actually really toxic. I'm so high in the recording of this video that I forgot to even finish this argument. But basically, Minecraft is fucking amazing because it has proven a million times over the power of the good internet, the good things that the internet can do, and proves that really the internet itself is not the problem. It's just we've all been trained to use it totally the wrong fucking way. Speaks a lot to humanity's ability to breathe life into things where there aren't. Our ability to sort of create wonderful little pockets of ideas and imagination, just for us to have a little bit of fun. I mean, really, it's kind of impressive that we exist basically against all the odds, and we've come so far as to be able to invent ways to tickle ourselves, basically just endlessly until we die. It really does blow my mind sometimes, thinking with all the technology that we have on Earth, that I wonder how the hell did billionaires even end up becoming so selfish enough to hog all of it? Like, I get that it's all about power. It's if you want stuff, the easiest way to get it is to just hurt someone else until they give it to you, because no one likes to get hurt. But I wonder, how did they, I don't know. You would just think that by now, I think that the average normal person would just be smarter than that. But I feel like there's been a huge sort of invisible regression that I don't think that we are even privy to. It's the sort of like cosmic, like, beyond, like fourth wall, type thing happening to us right now, where I think that on the whole we've actually convinced ourselves that we've become a lot smarter, but really our brains have just started, like, I think, adapting a lot better to the idea, to the world that we've created. Like, our brains are starting to, I think, really get fucked up. And it's happening in the sort of background where it's sort of, the regression is taking the shape of advancement, with humanity, where it's sort of, we see the movement, we see the AI movement, and to us it looks, it looks like progress on paper every way that you look at it, but in real time you watch as it actually erodes human instincts, as ChatGPT is our closest approximation of what we think, a human brain should act like, were it to know everything. It's just like, it's a cheap, omnipotent human brain, simulation, and it's sort of got people thinking that humanity is something, that we've yet to achieve or whatever, that it's somehow that the heights that we've already achieved haven't been, enough. But I mean, aside from that, I mean, it's the sort of idea, I think, that, like, just because, nature has the sort of implicit desire to kill us, seemingly, like, we have to protect ourselves against it. I think that the sort of pendulum may have swung too far now, where we might be sort of over removing ourselves from, the sort of connection that we have with the physical world that we inhabit, not just the earth, but the sort of our whole perception of I guess just everything that's in front of us. Do we even know what's real and what's generated by our own misinformation creator? And it is sort of really troubling to me that I've basically the only things I've been able to think about lately have just been the AI takeover and suffering, and how AI is not making any of this any better. And I did genuinely occur to me the other day for the first time, that I had this thought for the first time, that I genuinely do miss knowing what is real and what isn't. It's you would have never taken that to be like a luxury and not just like a given. It's hard to know what is real now on the internet. So it's just sort of like become a big billboard for human lies, for all of our worst traits to be pushed right to the front. That's just like a capitalism thing, really. If you're looking for an explanation on why that sucks, I guess I can give one of those one day. Capitalism and stuff, but specifically about the internet. At some point, it is just going to become, whoever is the biggest dickhead will come out on top, in terms of, the AI race and everything, and the enshittification of the internet and social media. And why it feels like everything is worse now and you can't actually trust, the world around you. This human world that we've created in the internet. I keep talking about how humanity has created its own little microcosm of itself on computers. And we can't comprehend where the internet is because it's not anywhere. We made it up, and we think that it's real the same way that we think our own, perception of the world is the real one. Is something. I hear a creepist. But at some point or another, it all just goes to shit because everyone who cares about things, everyone with a soul, like every normal person, at some point or another, gets burnt out. They get bored, or they get overwhelmed by the amount of other people who are in the game for nefarious reason. That's the problem with the whole concept of money as a whole, really, is that it's because it gives you the power to get things, it sort of drives people who are not right in the head to sort of start scheming nefarious ways to get things. And it's as simple as just like, if you want, I don't know, if you make YouTube videos, right? If you're really passionate about YouTube videos, I like making videos on the internet, I'll fucking say it. I like being a Let's Player, but it is really exhausting to me, knowing that there's so much, terrible people out there doing the same fucking video that I am doing right now, who are doing it for fucking money. There are plenty of people who are only doing YouTube videos for the fucking love of the dollar. There are so many of them. Not just I said like Minecraft for some reason, just because that's what's right in front of my fucking eyes. But really, it's just I like making YouTube videos, I like making art. But there's always going to be people who I'm going to be up against, whether I like it or not, who are making art not because they like to make it, but because there's money involved. And eventually, everyone who is a normal person and likes making art is going to get exhausted seeing their hobby turned and twisted into such a disgusting corporate fucking labyrinth, an abomination, that they get tired, or they just don't have the energy or the soul, they don't have the energy or the will to sell their entire soul to making it. It's kind of the problem, that, I mean, I'm sure to a lot of people, you know, I'm just saying stuff where it's like, no, duh. But I'm saying any of this stuff anyway. These what I view as surface level stoner observations. I'm saying these because there are a lot of fucking people out there who don't know anything about this, and I think that even though I'm far from the brightest bulb in the bunch, that I really think that these are things more people need to talk about. Is the sort of, you know, the sort of removal of humanity from the world that created us. You know, in the sort of way that we're just pretending like we live in a different world now than we really live in, on so many more levels than just the way that like white moms on Facebook say that, you know. I think really the best thing that you can do, guys, is just hang out with your friends, go for a nice walk, and remember the planet that you came from, and just never ever stop making anything, because I think at some point or another, I really, if what I said earlier is true, and the people with souls just get too burnt out to keep competing with the people with no souls, who are clearly sociopathic machines who will just operate at maximum capacity forever, no matter who dies. People like the current president, those kinds of people who are moving out and about in the world. I think that in spite of them, persisting, we should persist just as hard. Like, just because, they're never ever gonna get bored doesn't mean that we should let them fucking step all over what we like. And just because there is terrible content on YouTube doesn't mean that you should be deterred from, making your video that you want to make. Because at the end of the day, I think your soul is really what matters most, in your YouTube videos. And I think that's why Leafy is Here fucking died out so fast as a phase on YouTube. I think that the reason that people still watch Oni plays is because they have a distinct, personality outside of the video games that they're playing. They have a soul put into it. And I think that every single person is capable of making an original Minecraft video, which sounds like an oxymoron, right? But every person has the ability to make one of these, because even me just walking around talking, I'm the first person ever to record my thoughts over Minecraft footage. No one else has ever recorded my thoughts over Minecraft footage. And I think that what I have to say is, okay, like, stuff like Minecraft is a great thing that was allowed to be discovered by so many people, that was put in front of so many people, and ended up turning a lot of people into different people than they would have been, were they not to have Minecraft. And we got some fucking great, a lot of the people you like, they might not be the same without this video game. They might not be people you like if this video game didn't exist. They might be people you hate if they never had some kind of outlet, oh no, not this again. I hate when this happens. So yeah, I gotta thank Minecraft for making some cool normal people too for me to hang out with. So yeah, I don't really know what else I want to fucking talk about. I mean, I'm just gonna work on my outside area. But you know what? You guys are welcome to join me. I think this is gonna be the part of the video where I officially don't talk about anything in particular, and I just play the fucking game or whatever. I'm gonna put a wall here, I think, because I don't know, just want one. Why are you asking me about my fucking walls, huh? Get a life. That should be good. Okay. Yeah, I love building a cute little wall once in a while, I must say, And then somewhere in this like dip here, what I'm gonna do is, instead of filling in this hole, I'm just gonna cover it up with a single layer, and sort of see if I can't turn that little dip into a room that will connect to the lab. So I can actually have a sort of way of interacting with that lab. And I realized after doing the lab that I don't really have fucking anything to put there for like a really, really long time. And I kind of had this whole idea, you know, like on paper it seemed funny to say I'm gonna build a large hadron collider in alpha Minecraft, but you know, in reality it's actually not something that I even know how to do or think I have like the time and energy. Like that's a bit that I just don't have the will to commit to right now, you know. And I'm the ultimate commit to the bit guy. I love the bit more than I would think I love members of my own family. Genuinely. I'm so about the bit. But, you know, I can't commit to this one, I think. I can't for a long time. And probably not until I have pistons. Because at least when I have, like, pistons and redstone repeaters, I can just have some redstone shit on loop, and it doesn't really even matter what it does. Just as long as it's, like, some redstone machinery moving around. You know, like, even if it's just a door opening and closing over and over again. You know, we'll consider that an experiment, you know, because, well, now we know that you can open a door over and over again with a redstone repeater. But we better keep it on for the rest of time just to be sure. Just that kind of thing, you know. I just don't, like, I don't really have much to work with in this version. For the first time ever, I think my commitment to the bit has been stamped out, you know. I don't really know what to put down there. So I might, instead of doing a laboratory, maybe I'll just turn it into like a Herobrine dungeon or something. I don't know. It is pretty cool down there, the fact that it's all brick. Oh, so here's what they were talking about with the leaves not decaying. I see. Right. Okay. That's gonna be there for fucking ever, I guess. God damn it. God damn it. Guys, you know, if anyone makes it this far, I want your honest opinion, because if you're watching this far into this video, then maybe you watched far enough into the other ones to have something to say about this. But guys, low-key, am I annoying and stupid? Be totally real with me, because I don't know, I just feel like I'm really annoying and stupid. And like, I know that, you know, people tell me I'm not all the time, and people tell me, you know, that they like me, and that they, you know, that they enjoy having me around. But for some reason, no matter what, I always get the vibe that I have no idea what I'm talking about, and that no one ever understands what I'm saying, and that what I'm saying never has anything to do with what other people are saying. And it's just this sort of weird thing where, like, it's like obviously a white boy autism moment, but I feel bad even thinking about it, because I'm so much just like not interested in how I feel. I'm more right now concerned, you know, with the political and economic state of the world right now. If I'm being honest, you know, I hate to sound like a cornball, but really, like, you know, it's important to me if I'm stupid and annoying, because I'm, you know, I'm a white male presenting and that's a fucking creeper presenting individual. Holy shit, the woke left is firebombing white men in Minecraft. Okay, but like, I don't know, it's just really important to me, I guess, to feel like I'm not taking up too much space, if that makes sense. Just in the world of like people with problems, I want, you know, mine to only be talked about as is, you know, necessary. But it's just like, it's really important to me that I'm not stupid and annoying, because it's really easy to be stupid and annoying as a white guy, even though I actually don't strictly identify as a guy. I'm kind of just whatever anyone wants to call me, but it's easier to see me as a dude than anything else, because I got that dude bro swag, you know. I think the voice of like a 15-year-old boy, but I have dude bro swag, so that's something. And a terrible microphone. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I try not to let myself think that I'm stupid and annoying, but it's one of those overwhelming thoughts, that I think a lot of people have. They have thoughts just like, am I fitting in? Am I blending in, naturally to my surroundings? Do I belong here? Is something that I ask myself all the time. Like, am I contributing meaningfully to my environment? Is this a place where I have something to offer? Am I bringing anything of note to my community? To the people in my life? Am I doing them well by doing anything really? And it's just sort of one of those things where I wonder what the fuck I'm gonna do if it ends up being true that I am actually stupid and annoying. Because, dude, whoa, what a revelation. That's gonna be worse than being told that you have cancer. Finding out that you actually are stupid. I say that's gotta be worse. Like, I don't know that it is actually fucking terrible. I don't know if it's worse than getting told you've had cancer. I've never been told I've had cancer. I fucking wish I did, because I just made a horrible mistake with that fucking slab, and now I want to die. But it is so awful to find out that you're the annoying friend, because I've been told so many times that I am the annoying friend too, just by people in school. You know how kids are. You know how male friend groups are. But it's just it's something that I concern myself with, and I hope that other people can maybe relate a little bit to the idea that they're worried that they are actually stupid and annoying, or to put it more lightly, that they're worried that they're not fitting in with people, that people aren't understanding them, that people are unhappy with them and their social performance, and the way that they are. You guys are definitely not alone. The secret is that no one actually is happy with their own performance. Everyone is selling you some degree of fake happiness with their own performance. I think that the people who are the realest, the people who are honestly the happiest, are the people who are willing to admit, when they feel shit sometimes, when they don't understand what's up, when they feel like something's wrong with them, when they have moments when they question all of it. I think that those people always end up being the happiest, because they actually, they didn't deny themselves feeling like they were down. They let themselves think about it, and they went and they actively got something better out of life for it, I think, for searching for the answer. I would hope that you guys all find the answer to whatever it is that's keeping you down in social situations. I'm willing to bet 99% of the time that you're just trying to get with people that just aren't really worth hanging out with in any regard. Like, this was kind of a problem with my most recent ex, is that they just could not bring themselves to part ways with horrible people. Just like borderline, misogynists, people who supported RFK Jr. early in the fucking election, like, just that kind of person. They just couldn't bring themselves to stop seeking their approval for the longest time, and it was really just so difficult, because there are a lot of people out there who just have this mysterious X factor that lets them convince you magically with their brain that you want their approval. I don't know what it is. It's like a magic evil spell that some people with really nice smiles can just put on you, that makes you like them instantly, or want their approval, bad enough. It's just like, some weird, like, way to do with the way that we interact. I fucking hate humanity. We should just go back to sheep. Whoa! Can I? Oh, I can't pick any of it up. Fuck. That's the. I want wool. I want to make stuff out of wool. I want to make paintings. I want Christoph Zetterstrand art on my wall. But yeah, guys, you're cool. You know, there's so much about you specifically, the person watching this, that no other person has ever, you know, I guess demonstrated just by existing. You know, like you may be locked inside of your own brain forever, but that also means that no one else is ever going to have the experience that you have, which I think is pretty cool. And considering that we don't even know if consciousness really exists or if it's just a simulation, you very well could be the universe creating the first ever, like, you know, type of consciousness just to witness itself happening. Um, and that's like, you know, a stereotypical thing that people fucking, you're the universe witnessing itself. It's like, whatever, yeah. Fucking thinking cap a little too tight on your brain there if you think that that's like a neat original thing to say. But somehow there are people who have never fucking heard it before. So I almost just feel like it's the sort of the duty to like say things that I hear that I think might be cool for other people to hear. You know, even if it is sneaking them into my Minecraft videos. But you belong here, and you belong with me, and I love you. Just because I really do think, honestly, dude, we really should be getting some government mandated love, and not in the fucking incel way where it's like, dude, the government should provide me with pussy checks each year. I mean, in a way of like, you should be legally required to be nice to people. I think we should just cut the bullshit and just fucking just you should just go to jail for being mean to people, not people who I'm mean to, because when I'm mean to people it's because they are misguided in their worldview. But you know, like if you're like a racist or whatever, you should just be put in jail, because I feel like, yeah, we see enough times that those people if you just let them go for long enough, they will eventually hate crime someone. You know, it is literally just a matter of time. There is no other truer fact in the world. So yeah, honestly, it should just be illegal. Like this video if you think that it should be illegal to be mean to people, in any capacity. You know, I think that once we reach a certain point as a species, we should decide there should be like a whole worldwide day where as a whole we cut a big ribbon and say, guys, no one is ever going to be sad after today. You know, and I mean, obviously that's, you know, not fully possible. People are still going to die, but I think that part of making no one ever be sad again means educating people to such an extent that they understand that death is just a natural part of the process. I think that that's another thing, is that we don't take life seriously enough, and we take death extremely too seriously. And it's sort of like a weird paradoxical thing to think about, that like we simultaneously are constantly scared that we are going to die, or that we're going to be shunned, that we're somehow going to not make it, you know, just whatever it looks like to not make it. There's also, you know, so many people who I think they want to, you know, be alive, but I don't think they necessarily want to live. You know, that was me. I wanted to just kind of get by, but I was perfectly okay for a very long time just being on my computer. You know, after I graduated high school, I spent like a year and a half not really going outside, no job, no school, no nothing. I just played Minecraft all day. And that's a similar situation to what I'm in now, but I think now I understand a lot more about my participation in the world, and my sort of, you know, being active in my own life, and being alive, because I'm tired of fear and death. I've become sort of very numb to the idea of it. I'm sort of fascinated by the cycle of it, and I think that it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I think that we, honest to God, really could create a society where no one has to be sad again, were we to just understand the natural phenomenon of the world and accept them, you know, like death and disease, and do the best we can to keep them from happening while we can, but largely accept them for what they are, which is part of the larger everything, you know. And I don't know, I just want to look at the fucking moon for a little bit, man. You know, this whole recording Minecraft videos thing and pondering what the hell the world is about is just a wild fucking trip. So, you know, before, I guess, to end this video, I'm going to give you some saplings, because they remind me of you in the way that they are small and, you know, innocuous at first, but they will soon grow into a massive tree that will literally never go away, no matter how hard an asshole like me tries to fucking tear it down. So yeah, take your saplings, grow them into a nice fucking forest. Much love.